what's your income? And how many baby dads? And I don't want to ask none of that. I got one question before I marry my queen, whoever she may be, wherever she may be at. And that question is simple. Can I see your sky? Because I want to see how many holes you got, bumps, craters, ringworm. I need to do a scalp inspection. Damn that. That's going to be my marriage contract. If I don't see that scalp, this is a no. Because I'll be there and I'm going to go to my honeymoon and you will pull that thing off and show you a price of loss.
That dude crazy. Hey, how's it going? Hope everybody had a good Easter. It was a nice, quiet time for me. Hey, how's it going? Same OG. How was your Easter? It was real nice. I went to a lodge here, just had a little staycation, just rested up. It's weird holidays here because they don't really. I don't feel like Zambians celebrate holidays. Like they don't go all out. Like even for Christmas, it's really boring here. Like most of their holidays here, I think they just get together with family and they cook and eat. Like it's no. Like let's say Christmas, like there's no celebrations, no decorations. It's like no festivals. Oh, okay, so you understand. It's weird. It's weird being here, coming from Colombia, where holidays were a really big thing. Like everything's decorated, everything's like it's a big thing. And coming here, like holidays just feel like a regular day, and people be like, "Oh, happy Easter," and I'm like, "Huh? Y'all celebrate that?" So it's weird being here. Which part of England are you in? I might have to go back out there to visit England. I'm thinking about well, I'm not thinking. I think after next year, I'm planning on traveling again. Start back up the little nomad part of my life. Oh, near Manchester, nice. I had a good time in England. London has its issues, but I still had a good time there. I'll be honest. The only thing I didn't like when I was there is the anti-Muslim stuff that was going on. Because I was staying in a more Muslim community. It was a lot of really good people there. And just hearing some of their stories and how afraid they were, it was just really sad being there. One of the things I really hate when I travel is when you just see some of the things that go on that are behind that the media doesn't show. And there was some really great people there. Like I really fell in love with their communities. And then I miss the Broadways, man. I'm a big person. Like people don't think it because they see the tattoos and everything, and they're like, "Oh, he must be, into sports, rough around the edges stuff." Like I miss Broadways, musicals. When I was in London, I think every single night I was going to a different musical or Broadway, magic show. I had a blast out there. But I'm been planning out. I'm thinking after 2 years, in the next 2 years, so 2027. I'm thinking for that whole year, I'm gonna go back just to nomad living for a little bit, just take a break from the, being settled, the expat life. And so I'm thinking of either starting out in Southeast Asia and make my way to Amsterdam and then go back to the UK and stuff, travel a little bit more. I'm planning that out now. Because by then, I think I'll be finished building a majority of the stuff that I'm doing here. So do you plan on coming back to Zambia?
His name was Dr. George Washington Carver, also his wife never had children. That's why he had a high pitched voice. Testosterone. Look at you, said, I need somebody.
I'm just sitting here listening to a little bit of Dr. Umar Johnson. I don't follow him or agree with him 100%, but he's funny. He's a funny guy, and there's some things that he talks about hit home that are really good. But I don't think people listen to everything he say. They focus on, the extravagance parts of him and the militant parts of him. But he was saying something how like I'm just paraphrasing. He's saying how like black people need to quit worried about all the name brands, the going out drinking, the Ciroc, and all of this name brand alcohol, getting all the weaves. And I agree with him on that. I'm like, we need to be, as a community, we need to start getting more financially literate, because I've been watching a bunch of videos, and the biggest problems I'm seeing in our community, and it doesn't matter if it's a Black American, Black African, Black Caribbean, we don't have financial literacy. We're not talking about these things. And each of our generations are just learning this stuff from the ground up, and you can't grow. That's generational curse. It's sad. It's scary out here. I mean, you have to come back. Zambia needs, not only Zambia, but majority of African countries need us all to come back. Like, it's time for us all to either repatriate or expatriate and come back to Africa, because especially now with these trade wars between the United States and China, I don't think people are really seeing the big picture. And, so many people are talking about now how like, oh, China's, they're exposing everything and they're letting people know. It's like, dude, everybody's known that all these name brands are made overseas. Back in 2002, I believe, while I was still in South Korea, stationed there, I used to get Rockaware jeans from the factories. I was paying like $20 for $100 pair of jeans. I'll just take them next door, get them double stitched, so there was no issues with the quality. Like, this stuff is not new. Like, Samsung TVs, their parent company is LG. If you go to South Korea and buy an LG TV, it's way better than the expensive Samsung TV. Like, those things is what made me not be focused so much on brand names. But like, what they're not even talking about with the tariff wars, where does China source all their materials? They're getting it from African countries. Like, I believe if I remember correctly, Italian leather comes from Nigeria. A lot of Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and those fabric prints, they're coming from Nigeria. Majority of the world's dashiki prints come from Zambia. I don't think people realize that. I think it was 2 weeks ago, I was in town getting some Chaney fabric, and I saw the dashiki designs in the Chaney fabric. I'm like, whoa. And then I was asking my girlfriend, I'm like, this is what they make dashikis out of. She's like, yeah. And I'm like, why y'all don't make dashikis here and have your own African brand dashikis? Why is it all coming from China? And she was just like, oh, we just don't do it. Like, there's a lot of opportunity now within Africa, and I don't think people are really seeing how deep and big it is. Because like, I'm in the process now of, I think next year I'm gonna get 4 or 5 more industrial sewing machines, just to start a little small scale factory plant of just producing products, and just seeing if I can get some deals with American companies or European companies and just mass produce here. Because everything's here, man, and the prices are affordable. That's what's crazy. Making preparation to try to come back, have family now, and a spouse for me. Oh, that's hard. I can see that being hard. But what's funny? Because with her being from England, I didn't see a positive image of Africa until I went to London. And so I would think like, at least she would see like how Cape Town and some of the beautiful tourist areas are. Because when I saw those areas, I was like, man, that's Africa. Why they don't show us that? But definitely get her to come, man. Just get her to visit. Like, once she visits and see how safe it is, she'll be okay. Like, so many people are afraid to come here to Africa just as a whole. And I know I'm speaking of the continent, but it's, once people get all of that Western mindset media brainwashing out of their head, like, There's no reason for anybody to be afraid to come to Africa. I don't care if you're black, white, Hispanic. It ain't nothing but love here. Okay, so she came and loved it. I'm about to say, like, to come here from England, like they have to love it. Like, I don't see how you couldn't fall in love with it. But like now I love the expat life where you're settling down in the country and it's fun what I'm doing with everything. But now I'm like, I'm kind of tired. I'm like, okay, it's time to start traveling again. Just I like a mix of both of the life. That's why in all my videos I say I'm an expat / nomad. There's times I like to sit and travel, and then there's times I like to just be, stable and focused on growth. And so I'm giving myself 2 years to 2027, just to do those 2 years, focus on growing as far as the businesses, getting everything together, the development and everything. And then I'm like, okay, it's time for me to start back traveling because I miss it. And so like for me, like, I don't know if you know it, like my traveling moniker is Jabu. That's the more outgoing, I'm more extrovert as that personality type. Because usually I'm traveling, when you're traveling, you can't be as introverted as you want to be. And so, but when I'm an expat, how I am now is Jason. Jason's a very introverted person. Like, so like I spend a lot of time at home, don't do too much. Like I don't go out and all of that. But now it's like, okay, I'm starting to get that itch again to start traveling some more. And one of the problems with Africa, because the countries don't work together, you all's travel is crazy expensive and it doesn't make sense. Like I'm going to South Africa next weekend for a business seminar. And then I purchased a ticket round trip. Tell me why the plane ticket itself is $50. Great price. I'm not complaining about that. But tell me why the taxes came to $240. And I'm like, why couldn't the taxes be $100? Like twice the price of the tickets. Like, why are the taxes almost 5 times the price of the ticket? Hey, how you doing, Agnes? How was your Easter? And I was just like, this is ridiculous. I'm like, man, a ticket that is somewhat inexpensive, and then it like quadruples the price just for taxes. And I'm like, these taxes sure isn't going to improve the airports anywhere else. Like, where are these taxes going? Like, the African countries they have to start renegotiating some contracts here because it's making a lot of travel too expensive for people. I think that came to, let me see how much it came to. It was $290 total. I think it was almost 9,000 kwacha. So it's about 8,300 to 400 kwacha. And so like with that's a lot of money for the average person to be able to try to travel compared to just paying 1,500 kwacha. So like, I was just like, man, this is crazy. And I've been like, it's even more expensive if I fly to Solwezi. I've been wanting to go out there just to see what it looks like. But it was like, I think the ticket to Solwezi round trip, I think it was like 7,000 kwacha. And I'm like, yo, I'm not even leaving the country. Like living in Colombia, flying in country, you wouldn't find a ticket round trip for more than about, let me see, let me do the calculations instead of putting dollars, for about 2,000 kwacha round trip. And that's anywhere in the country. So it was really, really crazy. But yeah, so also next month y'all will be seeing content from South Africa. I am going to do content on there. I'm going to be filming with the Fayu Pocket 3. I'm gonna just apologize ahead of time. I have been trying everything I can to get that microphone to work better, to pick up the volume better. It sucks. I almost regret buying it. I should have just spent the extra money and bought the Osmo Pocket 3, because at least then I could have had a lapel like this one on, and you'll be able to hear me clear when I'm talking. But so probably at the end of the year, I'm gonna just go ahead and cough up the money for Pocket Osmo 3, because the Feiyu Pocket, it's just not, the audio quality is horrible. I did some testing at the little lodge I stayed at. I'm gonna upload that footage, and I did some testing at the Anime Con I just went to, Anime, that I went to this weekend, which was real cool. And majority of it, you can't hear anything. You would think like I had it on mute or something. So I'm it's the problem with doing content creation. Also, I need to put StreamYard back on here. That way, if anybody want to come up and start talking, that way we can chat. So it's not just a one-way dialogue and me having to read the comments. But my StreamYard, I was paying for it every month, and it quit working. And I was just like, man, this is getting annoying. Let me see. Somebody just called me. Hold on 1 second. Let me just shoot a text real quick, so that way I don't have to call. Okay, I think she reached. Okay, cool. But yeah, that's about it. So today I'm just sitting outside chilling. Zesco being Zesco, they trying to dim my light. I'm not even gonna do it. So what are you up to, Agnes? What are you doing for the holidays? Just with family eating? I was just telling Sammy, I'm like, man, holidays in Zambia are very, very boring. Flying with Zambia has been very expensive. It's actually for the elite. However, Zambia Air is coming back, has brought reasonable prices. Oh, okay, that's interesting. And I believe that. I can see how it's just for the elite, because flying here the only country that's more expensive than here is Botswana. And with Botswana, I'm like, it makes 0 sense to fly there, because even if I was flying from like Gaborone to maybe Maun, which is, I think it's like a 12 hours on the bus, it would be maybe 9 or 10,000 kwacha. And I'm just like, why would I pay that much money to fly in Botswana? It's Botswana. It's not. I'm sorry. Like, I love Botswana because I love desert. I'm filming right now. Okay. Like, I love Botswana. However, to spend that much money in the country just to fly to another city, it is a waste of money. And I can pay like $20 just to catch the bus. I'm like, it just don't make any sense. In Zambia Airways, I give them credit. The flights are inexpensive. It's the taxes what they hit you on. Like, the taxes was $240 on a $50 flight, and I was just like, this is weird. Like, this is weird. It doesn't make much sense to pay this much taxes on a flight like that. But I don't think they operate how some of the bargain airlines operate in the US. Because like what they do now, they realize it's better to have a full flight than have any empty seats. So everything just is more affordable, because flying in the US used to be really expensive too, especially if you used to use Delta or American Airlines. But now it's like very inexpensive, because coming from Texas, most people never used to leave Texas because the flights were so expensive. But now you're seeing a lot of people leave because they can afford to fly now. And Zambia really needs to start thinking about that, because those are just little ways to boost the economy. The more people can fly, cheaper it becomes to move goods back and forth. Because like I was even looking into, since once I get approved for the land out there by Lundazi, to where if I was flying, shipping the like toilets and things like that out on solar panels I need to do by airplane and just pay the baggage fee compared to paying the trucks, and just fly to Lundazi airport and then ship it on to Chasefu. But like the tickets are just crazy. And I'm like, yo, y'all gotta have cargo prices, man. Like things need to change. We gotta be a new Africa. Because I think the logistics of majority of African countries are some of the things that's holding it back, personally. But correct me if I'm wrong. I think a lot of the travel stuff is either too expensive or it takes too long. And the buses are not bad. However, they're not great and there's not much accountability with them. Cause like when my girlfriend went to Tanzania to come back here to Lusaka, she was broken down on the road for like 2-3 days. The bus just kept breaking down. I'm like, how can you not get a new bus to come out there to pick them up? Like you can't be setting people back that many days. Like it doesn't make much business sense. Like people need to be able to move back and forth consistently. Okay, so at least I'm not the only one that think holidays here are boring. I'm like, hey, Christmas was really disappointing for me. I'm gonna be honest. Christmas was, and I'm not a big Christmas fan. You okay? Okay, be careful, okay? But like to see how there was just nothing to do here for Christmas. It was like Black Friday, and it's like, man, are they more consumerism driven here than America? Cause like I tell you, even if you're not a Christian or not, one of the best countries in the world to go to for Christmas time is Colombia. I know Colombia gets a lot of bad rap for the drugs and other things that goes on there. It is a very family oriented country. And I think because they're Catholic, like it's very, very deep into holidays. Like it means something. Like they'll have an ice rink that they put out for the kids that's for free. You'll see jump houses everywhere for kids for free. Pictures everywhere. They have a Christmas lights tour where different parts of the city come together. They putting Christmas lights all over. It's like a really good place. And you come into Africa, you would think Africa is the stigma. African countries are the stigma like Colombia with the drugs and all that, the way no one's out. And I'm like, guys, these African countries are way safer overall. And it's like there's nothing here to draw tourism. Like there's nothing here to tell people, hey, come to Africa. Look at what we're doing. Let's have fun. And it's weird. It's really weird. Agnes and y'all African countries need to work on transport. Yeah, y'all do. I would say South Africa has good transportation, especially their bus systems, and they have sleeper buses, which I feel like Zambia needs to get. Zambia really needs to upgrade their buses. And Botswana have good buses. Their buses were decent. The buses in Tanzania, some were nice, some were bad. I just didn't like the driving. The drivers did not care about passenger safety, in my opinion. The speeding, just going over speed humps instead of slowing down. It was just little things there that kind of annoyed me. I didn't bus or do anything when I was in Rwanda. I still have to go back there. And then I'm gonna still check out Mozambique, Zimbabwe. I might go to Namibia. I don't know. Namibia is really not on my list to go to right now. Oh, but other than that, that's it for the day. Like it's just a chill, boring day today. I would show the outside, but the daughter's out playing. I don't want to put her on camera. Hold on, let me hotspot. My internet is acting up right now. I'm gonna just switch the internet real quick in case it goes down. Okay, there we go. I'm back. Man, I am so ready to move into this new place. I'm just waiting for it to get built. Hey, have a good day, Agnes. I appreciate you hopping on. Trying to get my water in. Last 2 days, I haven't drunk much water. I have this weird thing. I don't know if it's just me. But since I was in Iraq, whenever I was in Iraq and we had to use porta potties, I have this phobia about using bathrooms that are not mine. So I usually, if I'm traveling or if I'm staying somewhere outside of my house, I usually don't drink or really eat much, so I don't have to use the bathroom. I have a real big phobia of using public restrooms, or bathrooms that's not mine. And usually, when I stay in an Airbnb, I just go get cleaning supplies and I just clean it real good. I don't know why. I'm designed weird. There's so many things about Iraq war that it messed me up. Oh, I love Enshima. I usually eat Enshima about 3-4 times a week. Most of my meals actually consist of Enshima, some beans, maybe some type of green vegetable, if I can find some that's looking good, and then soya chunks. So because I don't eat meat, I eat a lot of soya chunks. I'm actually wanting to, one of the things I want to do next year is open up a restaurant that's going to be nothing but soya chunks. Everyone thinks I'm crazy here because I keep talking about it, but I keep telling them, I'm like, y'all sleeping on soya chunks. And everybody like, oh, it's prison food. That's boarding house school food. And I'm like, y'all just boil it. Like, y'all don't even season it. You don't put sauce on it or change it up. You don't, bread it and deep fry it, mess with the textures. Like my girlfriend thought I was crazy. I made a soya chunk pizza with soya mince pizza. But when she ate it, she liked it. But because she knew it was soya mince, she was like, oh, well, it's okay. I prefer the real thing. But I'm like, I'm going to end up opening up a soya restaurant. There's going to be nothing but soya chunk products. Do a take on American Chinese food, stuff like that. And have it to where if I can have a complete meal or plate for about 30, 40 kwacha at the most, I think it'll be affordable, very easy for people to afford, especially college, university students and stuff. So I want to get a restaurant going. That's why I've been cooking a lot lately now. But Zesco keep wanting to play with power. Ooh. So that will be in the making too. I have a lot of things now planned. Some things I just can't talk about right now. I'm waiting for some other information. These guys just like noise. Is it just me or do Zambians just like to make noise when they're in a car? Sometimes they just blowing and stuff for no reason. I'm surprised nobody from the US is on here yet. I tried to wait long enough. No, I don't have solar yet because I'm still renting. Because what I'm waiting on right now, so this is what I'm waiting on. I could have been building my house by now, but what I decided to do, just to save a little bit of money, is I want to wait until I get approved for the land in Chasefu. And in Chasefu, I want to build there first because it's a perfect place to start out. And I'll start having rental income coming in. So the goal for this next 2 years is to mainly focus on getting kwacha coming in. Even though I'm American, like I'm not trying to earn dollars. This is where most people mess up when they go to a new country. They're trying to earn their home currency or whatever the higher currency is. And it's no point. Like I'm gonna just be, it's no point in trying to earn dollars in a kwacha earning country. And because a lot of Americans do that, that's how they market themselves out of the majority of the money that's in the country. Because like, let's say if I build a house here and I'm trying to get 500 or 600 US dollars. Let me see how much is in kwacha. I'm gonna say 550. I'm gonna go in the middle. That's 15,600 kwacha. I've just now knocked off 95% of Zambians who can afford that. The other 5% are most likely already having their own land and building. So you lose 100% of the market in a country you go to that has millions of people. And you're trying to get the very few Americans that can come here now, because as an American, let's say if someone's from New York City where they're used to paying $2,000 to $3,000 a month, and now they're seeing, oh wow, $560. Yes, they're going to pick it up. But the problem is, why should I be focused on that small market of Americans when there's millions of Zambians out here that need housing? And so what my goal is to only produce houses, and it's going to be small, eco-friendly homes. And they're going to be, I'm maxing out probably at 1,000 to 1,500 kwacha a month, depending on where it is. And from that opens up the market for majority Zambians who are renting rooms, Zambians who have roommates that want to live alone, Zambians who also are still cohabitating with family. And let's say if we tap into 1% of the Zambian market that is just cohabitating with people, that's a lot of money. And a lot of people don't look at that. Even here, how I'm seeing people building and they're putting houses at 10,000 kwacha a month. I'm like, why? Like you're not focused on the market that is actually needing housing. And people everybody don't need to start out in a 2-3 bedroom house. Even this house here where I'm at, it's a 2-bedroom. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't need it. It's way more space than what I really need to use. So that's why I'm doing the tiny homes, eco-friendly, and it'll be easier to set them up with solar because there's less of a electrical impact as far as pulling so much off the grid, things of that. And that's my goal. So to do that, and because the council and all of them, when I went out there, they go an hour back and forth to work every day, from Chassefu to Lundazi. And I'm like, if I start building there, and if I put the houses there first, guess who's going to probably want to rent first? The council members, people who are making good money. It's going to be affordable, so it's not going to be an issue for them. And so that'll be long-term rentals, and it'll be bringing in revenue. And so that's what I'm really focused on right now, doing that. And then I'm going to build my house, because I'm in a place where I'm actually blessed to where renting isn't that expensive here for me. So it gives me the ability to start building first for rental income instead of needing to build for myself first. Let me see, Tandika said, have you looked into how much it would cost to ship big stuff like farming implements from US to Zambia? I don't look in the US. Now I will tell you this, look into China. Because now with China, they're doing a lot of tax-free shipment to Zambia and other countries. And also look into, there's a whole market that people don't look into when it comes to farming. The big industrial farming. Hey, what's up, Dr. Schumann? What's up? That's my brother right there. How you doing, bro? The big industrial machines, they're expensive. But I'm gonna be honest with you, there's a whole new level of machinery that's come out now, and it's medium industrial machines. Like they're smaller scale industrial machines, and they can produce just as much as the large capacity machines, and they cost like a third of the price. So like I was looking into a mini excavator. A mini excavator would cost me about 4,000 US dollars. The shipment here from China is actually free. And with something like that, you can plow fields, clear out land in no time. It comes with a diesel engine. Like it's a lot more affordable. and it's a lot easier to work too. Because one of the things I'm looking on long term with that one is, and this is once I have other people here that are American that's retired stuff and doing business, because I don't want to put all that money up front myself. Like I want to have people that are business minded too that want to get into that to where we can share the cost. But also there's too many engineers here that are unemployed. And so getting some of these engineers to reverse engineer those machines, and because it's mini scale machines, the parts already exist here. There's so many old excavator, old farming equipment here that people just sitting in people's yards, like going down the Leopard's Hill Road. I see so much old farming equipment just sitting there and it's just rusting away. And I feel like eventually, once I have enough people that are going in on that, those are things that I can have engineers reverse engineer and then find ways to build it using resources that are already here to cut down the cost. So I have so the way my brain think and how I analyze things, and this is from being in the military and the job that I work, I have a 5-year plan. I have a 1-year plan, a 3-year plan, a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, a 20-year plan. And each one, come on, bro, stop. And each one I'm just knocking and, doing the ticks of, okay, so like my 1-year plan was to get a certain amount of land. Reach that goal in about 6 months. And it was just something that was my main focus. Now my 3-year plan, I have a certain amount of houses that I want to build, including building my own tiny compound that's just for me. Like on my compound is going to be my little house, my mom's house. I'm going to have a private studio for recording there. I'm probably even going to put a music recording studio there. I know a few people that are planning to come here. They like to record. And then also as I'm getting more content creators to come here, places where they can come and record and do things professionally. So like I'm looking at that, I'm still looking at getting some land in Chongwei because I want to put out an event planning place out there, outdoor place, swimming pool. So I have like a lot of goals that I'm ticking. That's why I say by 2027, I want to take a break because you can't burn yourself out doing too much business folk. I want to just take a break, do some traveling. And so like what traveling does for me when I'm doing the nomad stuff, all I'm doing is soaking up what are the businesses doing and talking to business people in different countries and just understanding their mindset. And what I mean by that is, hey, how did you start? What made you start this? What was some of your challenges? And when you learn how people are thinking through their challenges that they went through, it shows you a different way to think through any challenge that you may go through. So that's the goal. Let me see what you said. I found a water well machine in Utah costing $5,600. I'm thinking it's a good idea. I probably started doing boreholes in Zambia. It's funny you say that, Tandika. I've been looking for mini borehole machines, just mini drillers. It's hard to find them. And that's actually a really good price. If you can get that from the US, that's a really good price because I was trying to figure out how to come and compete with the Indians in drilling boreholes. Because I'm like, there is no way you guys, these machines, these borehole machines they're not using local parts to keep them running. So if you're using local parts to keep them running, that means they can get built here. And so my whole mindset was, if I can find a mini one that doesn't need a truck and everything, maybe it can go 2 meters deep, maybe not 4 and 6 meters as deep as there, but just get in there and figure it out. Because like once you can go 2 meters, you can figure out how to go 4 and 6 meters with the same equipment. And so I've been trying to figure that out because I was like, once I can do that, I'm going to get with some engineers, pay them to reverse engineer it and to start building it. Because also I met a guy here that does 3D printing, and there's ways now to 3D print metals or, hey, Dr. Schumer, do you remember what they call those metals? You remember your buddy out there in Washington State that 3D print the car parts? Because there's a certain name for it, but it's almost as strong as industrial metals. But 3D printing, you're able to do it now to print like a metal-like substance for parts and things like that. I've been looking to it. Like I'm telling you, I've been looking to every avenue how money is being made here, especially the ones that are monopolized, like borehole drilling. And I'm trying to figure out how to break into it. I'm not trying to compete with them. I'm just trying to carve my own lane out. And once I do it, like once I'm able to do it, I'm not even going to do it in Lusaka. I'm going to go to a place like Solwezi. I'm going to go far out places where people are not doing it. And then like for certain villages, see if I can speak with the chiefs, do the boreholes for them for free of charge. And then see if would they be willing to donate some actual land, with the company coming in and helping do that. Okay, yeah, I can't remember the name of it too, bro. Ever since you told me about him, I've never took that out of my mind. I'm like, this is going to be $1 billion idea somewhere, and if I can just find a way to get 1% of that $1 billion, I'm gonna figure it out and work through it. But yeah, it's never sleep on any idea when it comes to sourcing materials. But the only thing I would say, Tandika, is make sure you're not dependent on just buying from them. Make sure you're able to start producing it in home. Because then let's say if you can start selling them for $2,000 and it's maybe costing you $500 to produce it from materials within Zambia, that's going to be bigger than just being able to do the borehole itself. Because like the thing is with those borehole companies here, they're all working together. I'm pretty sure they are just like how some of the Indian families are in the United States. Like there's only one family that own most of the hotels in the United States. They're called the Patels, Patels. And it's the Patel, the Patel family. I got to meet some of them and talk to some of them when I was working at the post office. And they work together as a unit. They may look like they're all different separate entities. They work together as a unit. When one family needs to leave and go somewhere else, the other family covers what they're doing. And us as Black people, we're not doing that. And that's our downfall. We do not do group economics. And that's the biggest downfall of our communities. And it goes back to, it doesn't matter if you're Black American, Black Caribbean, or Black African. We do not practice group economics. Every other community around the world does group economics. We don't even do family economics. Like where such a downfall is, we're paying for the sins of our fathers. And that's part of what that means, the sins of our fathers. Like our fathers did not work together. When one person got something and somebody passed away, the whole family starts fighting for it. And then we're starting over fresh. Maybe one group is doing well or better than others, but then the rest of us are trying to figure it out. And no matter where I go in the world, I see the same things. I bet you same OG will tell you he sees the same things in the UK, in England. When you really get to talk to people and learn from them, you start seeing, these are like I always say in my videos, success is simple once you know how. Being successful at not getting to where you want to be is simple once you know how. You start seeing the patterns of it. And sadly, that's just where we're at. We're all trying to pick ourselves up from the bottom, and it's hard. It's hard, man. I was fortunate enough to go to the military, had to go to war. I had to make a big sacrifice for it. It pushed me in a place, but even then, if I would have known the information I knew now when I first got my pension and my first lump sum of my disability pension, I could have brought that money here to Africa and I would probably be a billionaire right now. And that's just being honest with you. But you know what I did? I was trying to be a good American. I was trying to be a good Black person, living the American dream, paid off my debt, doing things the right way. I was being stupid. And then until you start actually paying to be around rich people, you start understanding they don't care about debt. Like, even though like now, like people are like, oh, Trump went bankrupt, Trump this rich person filed bankruptcy, Floyd Mayweather filing bankruptcy. That's a business strategy. That is not a bad thing. if I could do everything over again, when I first got my original lump sum of my disability from the military, which was, I think at that time they paid me 30,000 US dollars because it was 10 years of back pay that they owed me. Man, I would have filed bankruptcy. All of my debt, I would have let it go. 7 years, which is well over 7 years now. That would have been cleared off my credit. I could have been using that money to actually build a business, whether it was in the US or coming to Africa, buying land and building businesses, having farm, bringing farming equipment here, ordering other products from China that could have helped do things, building houses. But we don't know this stuff. And the few of us that's learning it, we're gatekeeping. And gatekeeping doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help me. And then even the people that's gatekeeping, by the time they lose everything later in life, it don't help them. I'm telling you, it don't get you anywhere. It's really, really crazy. Oh, let me read my insight of the day. So I have this thing that comes to my email every morning, every day, and it's called Insight of the Day from Bob Proctor, and it just gives you a quote. And so I'll just read it to you. Between stimulus and response, there's a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. Viktor Frankl. So I read this every day. I stop everything I'm doing, no matter what I'm doing at the moment, just to read this. Let's see what this is. Okay, showing my live is on. New comment on budgeting. I got a question. Why do some of us have short-term memory? Because, like, I noticed on some of my videos, it can be about budgeting. People are talking about the scammers and stuff. And I'm like, guys, why are y'all talking about that stuff on a video that has nothing to do about it? Like, yes, I'm annoyed with scammers. I don't personally like them. But it's not my biggest concern. The people who are fighting them are fighting them. I just say if I see them here in Zambia, I'll report them because they don't need to be here messing with as small of a community that's here. Hey, Dr. Shroomer. I don't know if you want me to use your real name on here, bro. But how's everything going on that side, bro? And no, I'm gonna send. I'm going to South Africa next weekend. So next week, I'm going to send out the stuff for you. I have the coffee for you and the purses also. The purse for. So I'm gonna send that out. Come on, man. So I'm gonna get that out for you. Oh no, anytime, man. My apologies for taking so long. And then when I get some more boo-boos on from Tanzania, when I order some more of those, I'm gonna send some for the misses also. And I think they're like, is what we call muumuus, but it's like the nice designs and stuff on real good fabric. I just sent mom some, and then I'll pack some in the mom's also too for you that you can send to her, and I'll send all of that out. Oh, hey, I need to put I need to get let me see if I have it on here. Oh man, the building on the land, it's fun, bro. But like I was telling you, it's scary at the same time. Cause like now it's like, going to that next level of doing something that you've never done before. And so when the insecurities, a molehill, what's a molehill? I don't know. A molehill? Did I say molehill? Cause when I'm seeing molehill, I'm thinking of the little moles in the ground, which they have them here, but I don't remember talking about those. But yeah, going to that next level, man, that you don't know if you're really ready for it or not. And it's just like, hey, you got to just jump in. So that's the next step now. And it's fun, man. It's exciting getting there. Exciting and scary all at the same time. Oh, the borehole. The borehole, that's digging a well. Pretty much you're digging like a little small well for the water to come from under the ground. Because like here in Lusaka, most of Zambia has a high water table. So you can use the city water, but it's best just to drill a borehole. And it goes a few feet under the ground. Well, a few meters under the ground, I'm sorry. And it just for you to be able to get fresh water. I mean, no, you can't see that. Okay, you can't. Let me see. You might be able to see that tank. If you can see that little green right there, that's a water tank there. So they have a borehole, and the water goes there. And so it's just an easier way of having a well. I don't know why the U.S. don't do it. Because you can do it. You can put a solar pump on there, so that way you don't need electricity, and it makes things a lot simpler. And you're able to drink the water from the tap. You can put a filter on there if you need to, but I've never had any problems with. You can drink. It's just fresh water out of the tap. Man. Oh no, anytime, bro, anytime. But like here for the boreholes, the companies that do it, I haven't seen any company that's not Indian. They don't charge a lot. It's not too expensive, to be honest with you, but they're making good profits. Them guys are making good money off of it. So that's why I'm like, if I can find a mini borehole machine, even if it just goes on the back of a truck or something, of a pickup, and you just put it in place, like that can make a lot of money out here. And especially if I figure out how to reverse engineer it and then build my own machines. Oh, hey, how you doing, Purelistic? Arizona, my favorite place. Oh, you in Sedona? Man, I love Arizona. I was being stationed in Fort Huachuca made me fall in love with Arizona. Never knew a place like that existed. And then Sedona is still, to my opinion, one of the best places on earth. I was actually looking to buy a house out there before I left. Yeah, Arizona is beautiful. Like, especially if you're up by the mountains, you can't beat that place. Oh man, what time is it out there in the U.S.? Is it about? Is it 11 in the morning? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Purelistic. I appreciate that. It's funny because I've been working on this channel. How long have I been doing videos on this channel? I think about 8 years, 8 years now. Oh, it's 7 a.m. Okay. Okay, that's why it's not that many Americans on. I was trying to do a good time for people in the U.S. to hop on. while it was still light outside. Yeah, I've been doing this channel 7, 8 years now, and it's funny because I could have grew this channel really big while I was in Colombia. If I didn't have my moral standards, and if I would have just filmed like other people were filming in Colombia at the time, this channel probably would have been about 100, 200,000 followers. But I just didn't want to attract that attention. I was like, let me just grow this slow and steady. And so I want to keep it very consistent. I also keep it around my morals. I'm looking at property in Lusaka and Kitwe. Both areas are good, especially if you're willing to look outside, a little bit outside of Lusaka. Lusaka West is still a great area. McKinney is a great area. Chongwei is a great area. Chongwei is just about 5 minutes from me where I'm at. I'm actually technically right on the border of Lusaka and Chongwei. Meanwood is a good area. Lusaka West, you can still get plots of land out there for about 3,500 kwacha, maybe a little bit over $200 or under $200. I'm sorry. Real good properties out there. The only thing that stopped me from getting land in Lusaka West was the land I went to go look at. Too many of the plots was already picked over. And one of the things you want to be careful if buying a plot here, especially if other people are already purchased, you got to make sure they don't block your access to be able to build your road and get into your property. It's one of the weirdest things they do here. And it's not being rude or talking down on the people, but sometimes that little consideration is not in place. And sometimes the people, when they're selling the plots, they don't designate or reserve spaces just for the road. I don't know why. So you can be in a plot and have your interests blocked off, and then you have a plot, but there's really no technical way to get in there. So you just got to be cautious of that. So for me, when I go purchase land and I'm looking at land, I make sure one, there's a road reserved already. That needs to be part of the actual planning of the land. And if not, I try to make sure that very few of the plots are being purchased that way I can set the standard of buying those first few plots, and then I create the road in. Because then I've noticed if you set the standard, the people here will keep it going. But if you don't set the standard, they're not thinking about that. So just be mindful of that, and make sure also anyone that's trying to sell you land, and if they're telling you you can do it without a NRC, which is a national registration card, they're ripping you off. They're lying to you. And if any American is selling land to you, they're most likely ripping you off. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like, there's no point even lying to you. I don't want you being ripped off or anything. It's a great place, but the scammers are here. And then make sure they're open and honest if the land is traditional land or if it is private deed. No, I don't do consulting. I'm not that type of channel. I believe in giving information for free. Like I tell people, I really just want people who can afford to come here, build their life that they want. And then as we're all trying to build businesses, let's do group economics and work together. I feel like that's more important than me trying to make a buck off Americans trying to get here. I'm not going to knock the people who do it. I will just say this: I earn enough money in my pension from the military. I can sustain myself, no problem. So that is not the avenue of where I'm looking to make money through consulting fees. Because even at one point, I was thinking about opening up a land holding company here. But as I started seeing and hearing about all of the corruption and the scamming that's going on from other Americans, I just shot that down. And I was like, I will help people by providing information, and we can work together as group economics. But I'm just not going to make a profit off of Americans coming to the continent. So that's where I'm at. And not trying to say I'm better than other people. I just can't do it. It's just going against my morals. And one thing I can always guarantee, like, no one's ever gonna be like, "Oh, Jason scammed me." That's the other reason why my channel is my name. I'm branding my name. Um, I'm not hiding behind no moniker, no Grand High, no Yewa. Uh, my channel is my name. You can Google my name. You can find me on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. Everything is branded with my name, my pictures. If you notice, most of the time when I go live, it's my face showing. I'm not hiding behind any screens or any avatars. Just because look, I don't need to rip people off to be able to live here. Sadly enough, a lot of these people that are charging consulting fees, they don't have access to these countries. They're just on a tourist visa one way or another. Like for me, I'm actually leaving to go to South Africa next weekend for a business event. A buddy of mine out there sent me that Robert Kiyosaki is doing an event. So that's just to learn more about real estate, also more about precious metals, gold and silver. Probably get me a little bit of silver while I'm out there. So that's why I'm going there. And then meet up with a couple of friends there, and we're going to work out a couple of business plans on some products that we're planning on putting out in the market on that side. And then I don't think I'm gonna have time, but I was gonna go to the Eastern Cape to go look at some land to probably purchase down there. But I don't think time's gonna be on my side for that. So like that's why I'm going there. But when you see most of these people on YouTube, they're going to different countries. It's not because they're wanting to go travel. It's because they're under a 90-day tourist visa and they're just doing a border hop. That's why they're able to leave for like 30 days so that they know it'll reset their time in certain countries. And so I just got to tell you the truth. That's what it is. So don't be fooled and be cautious of some of these people that are doing consulting fees, because not all of them have an actual visa to get into the countries. I have a retirement permit to get into the country. With a retirement permit, I can be here indefinitely until I apply for citizenship. Once I do apply for citizenship after the 7 or 10 years, well, it's between 5 and 10 years. I keep hearing different terms. But once I can apply for citizenship after that, all of the land that I've purchased, I get the rights of a citizen, meaning it is freehold land. It is my land outright. But that's once I become a citizen. For right now, because I use Zambian local on some of the things I'm getting. Some of it is freehold, and like the land that I'm purchasing, the traditional land I'm purchasing in Westwood area, that is traditional land. So I'm actually going to be in the village book with the chief for that land. So that's how I'm able to hold on to that land also. But once I actually get citizenship, then I'll actually transition it over to private deed, a titled land, and then it's freehold my land. But if I transition it over now, it's under a 99-year lease. So I'd rather stay in the actual village book, keep it traditional, and then when the time comes, just go ahead and transition it over to titled land once I'm actually a citizen of Zambia. That's some of the things that people are not talking to you about or explaining to you. And like, don't be afraid of the 99-year lease. That's everywhere. But at the end of the day, you have rights here that a lot of other countries don't afford you. I believe Tanzania don't have rights. You don't have any technical rights to the land. Places like Thailand, Vietnam, you don't have any rights. You have to give 51% ownership to a native. And once that native have 51% ownership, if they want to screw you over, they can do that, and there's nothing you can do about it. They don't care. They're not going to listen to you. You can pay all the court fees. You can show everything came from your money. Ownership. You have minority ownership. You have no rights. So it's just some of the things that you be careful of. And this is why I'm telling people, And this is why I'm really speaking to people who are retired government, retired military. You can come here and get the retirement permit. Like, don't come in under an investor's visa. And this is why I'm against investor visas for a majority people. Unless you have been doing really big level business in your home country, coming here under investor visa and investing most of your hard-earned retirement, that's a lot of money. Like, we're talking about maybe 100,000 US dollars. That is a lot of money to be coming to African countries. That's a lot of money for investments. And you don't have permanent residence with it. You're better off just showing you have that amount of money in your bank account, can sustain yourself, and then get the retirement permit and be here as an actual resident, a permanent resident. You don't have to worry about leaving every 2 or 3 years or renewing your investor's permit, showing them, okay, I got this amount of money, my business is doing this. And then just come here and open up small businesses. Like, you can open up a small business here for under 100 US dollars. That's what PACRA, PACRA, that is their registration company for businesses. You do everything legally through them. You go to ZRA, which is their version of IRS. I'm sorry, their version of IRS. You get a personal tax identification number, which is a TPIN. I have a TPIN because you will need a TPIN to open up a bank account. You open up a bank account, and you just start doing things here naturally. You build your trustworthiness with the banks here. Then get into the credit system once you're able to get into their credit here, and then do things that way. It's cheaper. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's cheaper. And you're gonna have the potential to earn just as much money as if someone who's coming under an investor's permit. I keep saying, and I'm always reiterate this, it is better to start out small because you're taking less risk of your money being embezzled or stolen from you. And you can build from there. You put $100,000 up, you're going to be looking for returns a lot faster than if you put up maybe $2,000. And people are not talking about that. I watch some of these same YouTube channels you all see, and some of the advice they're giving you is wrong. It's just wrong. Like, there's just no point in throwing a lot of money at a problem. And this is the biggest problem with business. Everyone thinks it takes money to build a business. It takes strategy. It takes planning, and it takes understanding the market. Like, I keep telling people, like, some people are like, oh, you should build 3-bedroom houses. For what? For what? If you need a 3-4-bedroom house, if your family is that big, you make enough money to where you can either support them. You probably already have your land here. B, you're probably building your home now. There's no point in building that market. The market here is the exact same as the US and everywhere else in the world. I study real estate markets. Every time Grant Cardone is doing a seminar, I'm on his seminars every time. When Ken McElroy, most people don't know him, when he's doing real estate seminars, I'm listening to him every single time. And there's a few other people that I listen to. The biggest problem right now in the entire world is there's not enough affordable housing for single people. Single people are being forced to shack up either with a partner or a loved one. This is why you have a lot of people in these common law marriages now, and then they start hating each other after 10 years because they're forced financially to depend on one another, and they may not even really want to be together. The second issue is a lot of single people are forced to stay at home longer. And now they're frustrated because their family's all over their neck, talking about how they need to get out or judging them for their lives. They feel like they're not independent. Then they start to have all these self-doubt and self-conscious issues. The third thing is a lot of people are forced in roommate situations long-term because they cannot find affordable housing within their budget. And it's the same thing in the United States. This is why you have a lot of people that are now moving into their cars. A lot of people are seeing that it's cheaper to live in your car and pay for gas and just go park somewhere every day than it is to maintain a mortgage or to rent somewhere. A person was telling me like they left, I think it was Georgia. I can't remember which state, but it was in the South. Like a 2-bedroom place was now costing over 2,000 US dollars. That is crazy. I remember in Texas at one point, you could be renting a 2-3 bedroom place in a decent area for like 800 US dollars. Those days are gone. Like that used to be affordable for somebody working minimum wage or maybe a warehouse job where you can get a lot of overtime in. But the same thing goes for here in Zambia. A lot of people are forced to roommate situations, to keep staying with parents and family, and or just living with their partner that they may not even technically want to still be with, but they're forced to do it because the rental incomes are too expensive. They're just too expensive. So that's why when I took 6 months just to see what the market looked like, I was talking to people. Oh, okay, bro. Hey, have a great week, great day, man. I know you probably heading out to work. Hey, have fun, man. And I'm definitely hoping. Did you do the Monday morning inspiration? I'm gonna have to catch it on TikTok or Instagram, but I'm gonna definitely catch it. And so after doing the 6 months of just really analyzing here and seeing what's needed here, if I get into real estate, like I don't need to just be throwing money at building houses. It's not going to be rentable. The whole point of a house is okay, cool. I'm gonna catch it, bro. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. You've been helping me a lot with those Monday morning inspirations, man. And make sure you tell the family I said hi, bro. And so what I saw was people need affordable housing. Same way people need affordable housing in the US. And watching how people are building here, most people are building for multi-family homes. Not that many people are having kids anymore. Even the generations here, people are still not having as many kids as before because it's expensive. Like, think about it. If Millie Meals were about 340 kwacha a bag now, like right then and there, if you have 2 or 3 kids, that's probably 2 bags of Millie Meal you need a month. That's almost 700 kwacha a month you need coming in. And if your salary is just 4,000, you now looking at 3 a month. And we ain't even talked about transportation to get to work. We ain't talked about you eating just every day. And we ain't even talked about just your regular expenses on top of you still need to pay your rent. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But what I saw was they have their version of tiny homes here. They call them bed sitters. However, the people who are building these bed sitters, they don't have pride in being able to say, yo, I'm providing housing for someone. It's from a greed perspective. And because it's from a greed perspective, they're doing the bare minimum and asking for the most. So I say, you know what? This is a avenue here that is not being utilized correctly. So what can I do as someone coming into the economy, as someone who is blessed to be where I'm at financially and to have steady income coming in through my pension? I can build something between a bed sitter and a 1 and 2 bedroom house. Build fully functional, fully set up tiny home. That's what a tiny home is. In between a bed sitter and a 1 and 2 bedroom house. You can make a 2 bedroom tiny home and no one would even realize it. It's a beautiful concept. And the thing that I can do is I'm able to invest a little bit more into it, make it a little bit nicer, because I'm using a very different strategy than what most people do. And I'm going to explain to you on that strategy. I learned it from Grant Cardone. And so all I said I have to do is, if I can keep the cost of building down, meaning not getting ripped off, not getting gringo tax, not people think like, oh, this dude has endless money, let me just rip him off. Like, as long as I cut that nonsense off, I can keep the housing affordable. And so that's why I've been working on building connection, building contacts. So like I have a great master plumber, 2 great master electricians, met a dude who does roofing, him and his brother do roofing. So I've been meeting people and building contacts. So, hey, are you an honest person? Like, I don't have time to deal with dishonest people, because it's not that they're hurting me, they're hurting other Zambians also. Hey, Tracy, how you doing, brother? How was Northwest Mississippi, man? Hey, get all them grants you can, bro, right now. I think is it Fannie Mae? One of those companies, they're doing a lot of grants and money going out for towards fourplexes, duplexes, and quadplexes. I'm sorry. So take all of that money you can, bro, and get all of that land. Don't sleep on it. If I was in the U.S., I'll probably be out there riding along with you doing the same thing, brother. And so my goal is to have the houses anywhere between 1,000 kwacha to 1.5, maybe 1.8 at the top. Depending on, some places are going to be a little bit more expensive because I have to pay the transportation to get goods out there, and that's not cheap. But like anybody who's living in Zambia tell you, if they can find a nice home, especially if it's a single person, or maybe it's just a husband and wife and maybe one child, and if they can find a place for between 1,000 and 1.8 a month, they're able to save. It gives them breathing room. We have to go back to when countries were great. Like that whole MAGA campaign of Make America Great Again, it really means something. But to make America great again, to make Zambia great again, to make every country great again, every area, you need affordable housing. If housing is unaffordable, nothing is going to be affordable for people to get. Like you can't save money when you're overpaying for rent. That's just a fact. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. And it doesn't leave space for people to even focus on increasing their financial literacy if you're struggling just to provide a roof over your head. So that's why I want to do these tiny home communities. It's not to become the first eco tiny home in Africa like you see all these people. It's about creating a community of people who can become the future leaders, the future builders, people who can start becoming the future generational wealth. Because it means something to me. And the strategy that I'm using is one that Grant Cardone taught me was when you're purchasing apartment homes and things like that, you purchase based off of the number of doors. The number of doors mean more than saying, oh, I have this home that can produce this much income. And what I mean by that is, let's say if you can have 100 tiny homes, 100 tiny homes bringing in 1,000 kwacha a month is 100,000 kwacha a month. That's a lot of money. That is 1,200,000 kwacha a year. Oh, come on, son. Okay, let me move over this way a little. Sorry about that. So 1,200,000 kwacha a year, that's a lot of money in Zambia. Any Zambian tell you like they can't live off 1,200,000 kwacha a year. They crazy. Because that is a lot of money coming in. That's nice. My brother bought 10 acres, got a pond dug out. Yo, that is nice, bro. If you're able to send some pictures, man, like I love seeing pictures of people developing, especially pictures of land. It helps me, it helps motivate me. And it also helps give me other ideas of things that I may not see. Congratulations to them on that. And so like that's the strategy I'm using. It's about building as many tiny homes as possible. And once I get to 100, I know every 100 will be bringing in 1.2 million kwacha of income. So even if I have kids, that leaves money for them to come in. It gives them a business to take over. It gives them a point of starting out that no one else, like I didn't get a chance to start out at that much money coming in a month. And so that's the strategy behind it. And looking at the prices, how much people are paying to build bed sitters here, it helped give me an estimate of what I should be looking at to build a tiny home here. So just a little bit, it's probably just an extra 600 blocks. Like it's not that much bigger. I think most bed sitters here are maybe a 4 meter by 4 meter or 4 meter by 3 meter. The tiny home is going to be a 5 meter by 5 meter, 5 meter by 5 meter. The land is sold in hectares and acres. It depends on the area. Some areas deal with acres, some areas deal with hectares. Um, so like the land I purchased um, in Chama, Eastern Province, was 20 hectares. The land I purchased in West, yes, Westwood, that was for each plot was 40 meters by 40 meters, almost an acre, just a little bit under an acre. And then I purchased plots to build the shops because it was an area the guy I'm purchasing from, he was gonna actually turn it into a residential property. He wanted to build his own sub community. But since his kids are all in university, so he said he would just sell it off bit by bit to start creating income for them. And so working with him, I purchased the shops, all the plots for the shops. So I'm gonna put like a grocery store there, but it's just gonna be a shell and someone rents it out for me. I want to put a shell for a mechanic shop. There's gonna be shops for food stores, a hardware shop for anybody that needs stuff for the actual properties building, such as plumbing tools, tools. And then also with that, I'll be having a landscaping company there. So whenever people are coming up and building, they can actually purchase the landscaping services, and it'll just be a monthly service where maybe once every 2 weeks, we'll provide landscaping, trimming of the land, everything, and stuff like that. And then I'm probably going to create a security company there also, to where everyone is purchasing on the plot, they can pay for security services to where they have a private number in case there's any type of break-in or anything. And then also purchase packages to where it can be, their part of the land is getting surveyed, not surveyed, but patrolled throughout the night to make sure there's no crime and stuff like that. So like that's, but like, it just depends on where you're actually purchasing from. But before you purchase land anywhere purelistic, make sure you talk to locals that know that area. And don't just talk to one person, talk to multiple people to make sure you're getting concise, consolidated information. And they'll let you know. One of the beautiful things about Zambia is they will let you know what the truth is. They're very open and honest, and they're not really gatekeeping towards foreigners because they want to see their country get built. They want to see things improve and develop here. So don't be afraid to talk to locals. I talk to many people as I can. That's how I get a lot of ideas. I express my ideas with them to see what they think about it. Like even with the tiny home, just for affordable tiny home, so many Zambians I was like, dude, once that's done, let me know so I can get on a waiting list and get out there. There's a lot of opportunities here. And they'll be honest with you about it too. So that's a great thing. So I'm trying to see if electricity came back yet. It's been off all since this morning. But yeah. But it's a lot of opportunity out here. Okay, if you visit in July, just remember that's winter time for the southern region of Africa. So don't be thinking you come in the summertime, okay? If you come in January, let me see, January here is usually around rainy season. So it's going to hinder some of the land you can go look at, especially if it's going far out, because if it's not improved roads, excuse me, that will get in the way. July would be better, I'll be honest with you, just because the roads are more accessible. But January, if it's a proper rainy season, it can be a little bit of a hassle. It'll just be a little cold here in July. Because like yesterday, the last 2 days, it was cold. I thought winter was coming a little bit early. So like it felt good, but it was cold. So like my back was hurting. That's why my back was hurting these last few days, because the weather was changing. The cold front came in. But now today came back. It's like, oh, okay, summer's still here. Cause it was pretty hot, sunny today. I didn't see the sun for the last 2 days. FK, how you doing, brother? Hey, don't forget to let me know when you get here, bro. Best months. Let me see. Best months to come here. I would say between March, because rainy season is usually about over around that time and it's getting to dry season. In between March and October, November, depending on how early rainy season hits. But those are really good times. Only reason rainy season is bad because if you're really going out to look at some hectares of land and you want to be able to survey the land, some spots get a lot of water, and the water table is they have a high water table here, so it doesn't take much to cause a little bit of flooding, but it's not flooding like the U.S. where it's crazy. What is that? Okay, let me let this truck go. Okay, it's not flooding like the U.S. where it's like you're gonna get wiped away or swept away. Not that type of flooding. It's just high waters, and for the dirt roads, it can get really muddy. Okay, good, man. Land is still looking good out here. Business opportunities are still looking great out here for you, man. Um, things are looking good out here. Zambia. Oh shoot. Oh man. You know, I have the worst habit of breaking phones. I am horrible with cell phones. And I got a glass case on here and I've already broken it. I don't know if you can see it, like it's already broken. And people get mad at me. Like somebody texted me today and they got mad at me because I was like, hey, who is this? Because I broke my phone. And for me, it's like once I lose the numbers in the phone, if you give me a name, sometimes names don't register with me. I usually need a face to put with it. I think they thought I was being funny. But I was like, look, hey, can you remind me who you are? Like, how do I know you were from? Blah, blah, blah. And they thought I was being funny. And so I was like, look, I ain't got time for this. But this is like I think I've broken 3 phones here already. I found a hectare land. Someone was trying to sell it to me for $3,000. It was outside of Osaka. I was outside of Lusaka, but I was $3,000 or 3,000 kwacha. And was that 1 hectare outside of Lusaka for $3,000 or 3,000 kwacha? And I'm nowhere near 3,000 US dollars. Let me know about that, Peerless. A hectare of land, someone was trying to sell it to me who lives in Arizona. This outside of Lusaka, and they're asking 3,000. No, don't pay no $3,000. No, that's a waste of money. And I'm not being mean and trying to say they're a scammer or something. Because even depending on where they at in Lusaka, so let's say if you're right on the outside of Lusaka, you can find a hectare of land for maybe 1,000 US dollars. And even with that 1,000 US dollars, I would tell you to get on a payment plan. Don't pay them all that at once. So this is one thing, and this for anywhere we're dealing with land outside of the U.S. You do not pay someone up front all that money, even if it's 500 US dollars. You put a payment plan on, and you actually charge yourself a little bit of extra. Because if someone's going to rip you off here, they're going to want the money up front. You make them wait a year to keep collecting, they're going to show you who they are. And so do not pay someone up front money for any land. You pay in payments, you pay installments. Even with the land that I purchased, I owe 2,100 kwacha left. Turned out I was underpaying him what the amount was, and I told him like it was 300 less than what I was supposed to. And I told him, I was like, hey, why you didn't tell me? He's like, well, you've been paying so good. It didn't matter. He was like, just seeing someone honest and just really paying on time and no problems. I don't have to hassle you. I was like, next time you let me know so I know that I'm paying everything. Because, when you're doing your math, sometimes, because you're exchanging over, and I still think in dollars for the most part. So I literally it just slipped my mind that I wasn't paying the extra 300. And I was paying off early anyway, because I saw after so many months, he was someone that's credible. Nothing crazy happened. All of the paperwork has been good. I was having my receipts, everything signed, no issues. And so like I just owe him 2,100 kwacha left on the first two plots plus all the shop plots that I paid for. For all of that, let me see. I think I paid, let me see. Let me give you a rough estimate. I paid about 1,500 US dollars. It's for, let me see, 80 by 40 plots, because there's two plots that are 80 meters by 40 meters. They're 40 by 40 each, but 80 by 40. And then I have I have 5 shops. I have plots that are for 5 shops, and the plots were actually bigger than what we agreed upon. But he said because it was his mistake and the surveyor messed up on the survey, he didn't charge me the extra. Like 3,000 US dollars for 1 hectare. That's too much money. You will do better, and I'll be honest with you on this, Purelistic. Go to South Africa, go to Eastern Cape, and you can buy, I think, 3 or 4 hectares for that. And that's like right by the beach, maybe a 10-15 minute drive from the beach in Eastern Cape. So I don't do 3,000 US dollars for a hectare of land out here, please. And don't purchase any land from any, because do you have an NRC, Purelistic? Because if you don't have an NRC, you can't purchase land here anyway. You have no rights. This is why I keep telling people, like, get here under a retirement permit, get yourself a national registration card, have rights. Yes, you're still going to be under the 99-year lease, but after you stay here long enough and you can get citizenship, you can just transition it over to freehold land. People are not talking about this. Yes, so you shouldn't be even thinking about spending money for land here. You shouldn't be thinking about spending money land here. You shouldn't even be focused on spending money. You should be looking at land, but you shouldn't be spending money. You should be in the research phase. Hey, how much is properties going here? How much is this plat? How much is it on this side? How much is it out here? How much is it if I go to the copper belt? You should be looking and just doing a database analysis of this is how much land is looking at, and then start seeing where you want to go. Do not purchase it. If you purchase any land right now, even let's say if I told you, hey, Purelistic, I'll sell you all my land for 800 US dollars. I'm ripping you off. I'm scamming you. You can't even legally do anything about it, because you do not even, the moment you try to even put in a legal case, you need an NRC. You don't have an NRC. They're going to be like, why are you here? And then all I have to do is tell you to send it through Cashapp or some unrecognized form of financial institution, and you're screwed. Don't do that. Please get an NRC. You cannot do anything in Zambia without an NRC. Let me let this truck go by. A lot of people are building over here. There's nothing you can do in this country without a national registration card. You cannot do anything. Every Zambian who is an honest person will tell you that there is nothing you can do. You can't even go make a police report without an NRC. You need that for everything. Like you need it for everything. Even when you're doing business, you need an NRC. For a bank account, you need an NRC and a T-PIN. To open up a business here, you need an NRC and a T-PIN. To become an investor here under the investor permit, you have to go get an NRC. Like there's nothing you can do here without an NRC. And please just listen to me on that. That will save so many people from being ripped off. How does buying lease land in Zambia work? I know foreigners can't buy land outright. Pan Americanism, what do you mean by buy land outright? Are you talking about freehold land? Yes, Zambia recognizes dual citizenship. But explain to me what you're asking about buy land outright. That's a broad statement. Are you talking about freehold land? Or are you talking about leasehold land? Even with me here as buying and using an NRC, I have a national registration card. I have permanent residency. I have to purchase any land in my name. It must be under leasehold land. After I spend enough time here to become a citizen, then that land can be transitioned to freehold land, meaning I can own it outright. But if you're asking if you have an NRC, can you just go and purchase land? Yes, you can. You can purchase land that's traditional. You can purchase land that is title deed, or you can purchase land through the council, city council. So one of the things that I did, I think it's 2 months now, when I went to Eastern Province to a town called Chasefu. With Chasefu, I went and had an interview with the town council, with the council members of the town to get approved to purchase land from the town council. So I'm now waiting on approval for land from the town council. I let them know exactly what I plan on doing with the land, how I plan on building it, and of that nature. And once they approve it, then I'll start the next process, pay for the land. I think it is a 40 meter by 40 meter. It is, no, maybe I think it's a 30 by 40. I'm gonna aim low. 30 meters by 40 meter. They're charging me 7,200 kwacha for it. That is 253 US dollars. Once I'm approved, I set up the payment plan, paying them every month, and then I can start building on that land right away. And then you have a time frame on traditional land and on land that you buy from the councils to build within a certain amount of time. They want the land to be developed. So if you're just sitting on the land, then they will end up taking it away from you. But if they see you're making improvements, or see things are going along, they will give you time. Uh, so you do have to understand that, like just purchasing land and just sitting. If you sit on land for longer than 2 years, they're going to take it from you as far as traditional. Um, and I'm pretty sure maybe sooner if you're getting land from the actual councils, because the whole point of this is they're building up the town. So they want people that are going to be coming in to develop. So I had to prove to them how much income I have coming in a month. So I showed them my pension. I let them understand that this is until the day I die. So they saw how much I make a month. They saw how much expenses that I have here. You let them, they do ask for your debt to credit ratio. They want to understand how much liability, how much assets you have. Like it's a formal process. It's none of this silliness of people telling you, cash out me money, I'm gonna go buy this land. There's a process to this. Even with traditional land, only the head man or head woman is allowed to show you the land. No one can just say, hey, this is my traditional land, I'm selling it to you. You have to have approval. There's formal channels for everything. And even once you buy traditional land, you then have to go to the chief. You'll pay the chief the price or whatever it is to get the land. So for the traditional land I'm purchasing, I'll be paying him 2,500 kwacha, which is maybe about 85, 90 bucks, somewhere around there. And then they will write me in the village book. Write me in the village book. I am part of that village now. And then I just explain to them what all I'm doing. And as long as I'm not doing anything that's nefarious or crooked, you're not going to have problems. I know there's a lot of scare tactics out here of, oh, they may oversell, they may double sell. At the end of the day, the amount of money that I'm putting into it, purchasing, even if I develop it, it's just going to go downhill if someone tried to steal it. Now, when I first got here, I went to look at some land that was supposed to be title deed. Then it turned out it was traditional land. When someone tell you something's title deed and then it turned out it's traditional, Once there's one lie, usually that lie is a snowball going downhill. And then you just keep talking, keep talking. Then I heard them change the price. Then once it was like, oh, Mzungu, which is, it means white person technically, but it applies to us too as Americans because they say we speak white English, even though they speak British English. It doesn't make any sense. And so once I hear that, my radar goes up of scammer, and then I'm now nitpicking everything they do. Once I saw them going off in the corner speaking, they're not talking within the group. Then they change into their language, making sure there's a language that no one knew. I knew they was ripping us off. So also they didn't have any approval from the hitman. There was no hitman there to show us, and so I was done with it. And so you have to understand the process of what it takes to be able to purchase the different types of land. You have to educate yourself. Money does not solve your problem. Throwing money at anything is going to get you rid off. And this is why I even tell people, don't go look at overpriced land. Start out with very affordable land that almost seems too real to be true. I'm pretty sure anyone will agree with me. They may think like me on this. I'd rather get ripped off for $100 than get ripped off for $100,000. And that's just how you have to look at it. Look at things and take things with caution. But here for Zambia, and I'm going to always say this over and over again, there is nothing can be done without a national registration card. It's called an NRC. Nothing can be done here. You have to have that for every single thing to be done here legally, and anything that's done without that is not legally binding. You can't even get a long-term cell phone contract here without an NRC. Like if you just use your passport, every year you have to keep re-registering your passport, or they'll shut off your service for your internet, your utilities, your phone, everything. You have to use an NRC for every single thing here. That's the big thing. And I don't think people are talking about that. And this is something that people need to stop doing. You do not need to be telling people to come invest here, throw your money here, and you're not telling them legally what they need to do to cover themselves. You're not legally covered if you do not have an NRC. Shit. But yes, freehold land you can get after you become a citizen. Or if you know someone here, if you're dating someone here, you can have it in dual names, and then you can technically have it as freehold because you do have a Zambian national that is on the title also. So like my farmland is with my girlfriend. Both our names are on it, so that is freehold land, but it is traditional land too. So like there's still rights behind it, and we're in that village. And it's just up to me if I decide if I want to keep it, or because I've been hearing through the grapevine of some land in other places a lot bigger for a better price. Well, a good price, because the 20 hectares I bought is for a good price. It's just getting out there is a hassle. But I've been hearing about some land in other places that I got to go check out probably next year, because now I just need to be focused on building on what I have right now. And once that land comes up in Eastern Province of Chasefu for the town, once I'm approved and I have everything and start paying, that's my primary focus, is to build out there, get the land cleared out because it's right behind the police station. They showed me where the land is. How does registration for citizenship work in Zambia? You have to get some type of permanent residency first. If you are retired, military, or hold a pension, or if you can show that you're bringing in well over 2,000 US dollars as a single person, you can apply a month. Then you can apply for permanent residency or retirement permit. You have to get permit first. You can't just get citizenship. You have to get permit first, and then you have to be here. It's between 5 and 10 years. I haven't found out the exact number yet. Within 6 months at a time in a calendar year, your residency never get revoked or anything like that. So you're still able to travel, move around. Let me not mess up my phone. But so citizenship is just like in the U.S. It's a process. Like you don't just pay money and get your citizenship. I know there's a lot of this talk going around, like, oh, if you just pay somebody this, then they can get you citizenship in African countries. It don't work that way. It doesn't work that way at all. And if you find something like that, you have to understand, like, as administrations and politicians change out and they start looking for that corruption, who do you think they're going to come for first? The people that are legally paid to get in the country. I don't know why people keep giving this advice as if like doing stuff under the table, or I know this person that knows this person. Do things legally. Like, please hear me on that. Do everything legally and by the book. You have less problems. If you look at the people who have the most problems in some of these countries, especially around the world, if you really dissect their stories, they never tell you how to legally get it. Okay, I'm back. So like I printed out all my documents for my military showing how much money I earn a month that's coming in monthly. It shows them that it's coming in for life. Gave them 3 to 6 months of bank statements, showed them that I do have bank accounts in the US. It don't matter how much money is in there. They don't care. They just want to see that you have bank accounts. Then I went and got the official certified copies of my passport, my entry stamp, did the application. And what else I do? I wrote my letter for the director of DGI, Director of General Immigration, I believe it is, which is a letter you write like, hey, what making you want to be here? Showed them my lease agreement for the house that I rented. And that was it. And then I believe it took a month, got everything, went through, done everything, paid my fees, which was like $650 US. Then they called me in, emailed me actually, when it was time for my interview with the immigration people. When did the immigration? We just made sure all of my information was accurate. Then after that, I got called in to come pick up my residency permit card. When I picked up my residency permit card, they printed it on the spot for me. And then I was just asking them, I was like, hey, just to make sure, like, is it good for 3 years, 5 years? When do I renew? And because what it is, it's like a QR code. Let me wait for them to go. So what it is a QR code that you scan. And when you scan it, it shows you how long your permit is good for. And it was actually good for indefinite. And so I was like, I don't need to renew or anything. And they were like, no, you don't need to renew. It's indefinite. And then you come back whenever you stay long enough to get apply for your citizenship. That's it. That is it. I am a permanent resident of Zambia. And then after that, I went and got my TPN first. You do your TPN online, which is your taxpayer identification number, which is like your mix of your social security number, because it tracks you with what is called ZRA, or Zambian Registration Authority, which is their tax people. You got that. It's easy. Then after that, I went and opened up my bank account. I got an FNB Premier account here because I made enough money to qualify for the Premier account. After I finished that, I went and finished picking up my NRC, which is the National Registration Card. With the National Registration Card, I went to Chongwei. I went to their office just because the Lusaka office, being a capital city, it's overcrowded and everybody goes there. So I went to Chongwei, drove about 25 minutes, picked it up. They finished in about 2 hours, got me in and out of there because I was a new person getting it. They did make a mistake on my NRC. They put a 1, which is for a Zambian national, and you need to be a 3 because you're a foreign national coming and you have permanent residency. So once you get your NRC, make sure it's a 3 on there before you leave the office. Once they did, I saw that they had the 1 and I was told I need to fix it. Went back up there, they corrected it, no problem. And then after that, I got my NEMA, which is my national health insurance here. With NEMA, you just give them a copy of your national registration card. You just make a photocopy of it, color copy preferably. You take it up there, then they'll actually month or so once they have you fully in the system. And then from there, you get your PIN and your login information. I went and logged in, set it up. I saw that my health insurance, it cost me 60 kwacha a month, which I think is about, let me see. $60 kwacha. What's my currency? That's $2.10 a month. So I pay the whole year off 720 kwacha, which is $25.30. I pay that off the beginning of each year. I have dental coverage and health coverage with it. Thankfully, because I'm real focused on my health, I haven't had to be focused on it or use it yet. But that's it. And I'm literally set up in the system here. Then outside of that, what I tell people is just keep a copy in your phone of your permanent residence and your NRC backup, and keep your NRC original in your wallet, because those are important cards. It's like whenever I'm flying in and out of the country or going to another country and coming back, they ask for the NRC, and then you show them your permanent residency card also. It's just to make sure that you do have access to be in the country. That's it. There's nothing else you have to do. There's no other issues. You don't have to be paying people to get back and forth across the border. That's the legal way to do it here in Zambia. And I'm going to tell you, do everything legal. Don't take shortcuts. Shortcuts are going to pay you a lot. Are going to charge you a lot more money in the long run. Let me. Okay, cool. All right, just had to send a message off. Man, what time is electric? What time is it? Oh, these people be playing. Really, it's the biggest headache I have is dealing with Zesco, which is the energy company. That's probably the biggest. That's the biggest headache. Then on side of that is Yango, dealing with the car service. Network is getting bad on this side. In this live, I'm gonna end it in about 5 minutes, and I've been on for hours. But if you have any other questions, let me know. Because the network is starting to get real bad here. But if you have any other questions, let me know. But I'm going to reiterate this one last time. Do not purchase land here without a national registration card. Even if the people are in America, even if they're here, even if you see some AI generated looking like me and talking like me, I'm telling you, don't trust it. If you don't have an NRC, do not even think about purchasing land here, because they're just going to rip you off. You're being ripped off, and you have no legal rights to recover your money. And that's one of the beautiful things about Zambia. There's a legal system here. They're a really good legal system. And if someone's doing you wrong and you have all the legal things in order, there's not going to be any problem with pressing charges, with them either going to jail or have to compensate you. Like even here, slander laws are really big. You can't just be out here saying this or that about people and there's no proof in it. This is why I love Zambia. I love countries that have legal laws because I like to live my life on the legal track, on the legal side of things. Because I don't like dealing with the black market or that shady gray area that some countries operate in and that some people operate in. And also, every country I've been to that I lived in, I have always legally been able to live there. I had residency for Colombia, residency for permit, Panama, and visitor residency for South Africa. And for a little while, I was doing border hopping there. But even while I was border hopping there, I was trying to get a residency in Botswana. And once Botswana, I don't know why Botswana didn't give me residency. I read their laws and everything. Like, I'm gonna try them again. Actually, because I should have had residency in Botswana. This time, I'm gonna use a lawyer and check it out. I might do that next year. I might go there while I'm in South Africa, catch the bus there, because I should have got residency there. And then once I get it, I can let you know exactly who to use to get it and what's the criteria. Because all you need for residency in Botswana for just a natural immigrant permit, which I think is up to 7 years, all you need is to show that you have enough money to take care of yourself. And that's it. Yeah, Botswana is a real nice country. I think doing business is better in Zambia because there's just more people. Botswana has a true 2.5 million population. And so the numbers are just so small. Like, it's to set up a business there and get to profitable fast, you have to think maybe 10, 15 years. Like, there's things you can do, tourism industry and stuff, but there's a lot of competition in those industries. Like, to set up something from the ground up. Because like even there, I was thinking of doing eco-friendly homes, doing the sandbag homes, just because it's a desert. So using that resource to build a home would be a lot inexpensive. But even outside of that, it's just not enough people there yet. Botswana needs a major immigration coming in. Like, they need a lot of people coming in to boost their numbers. And so like coming here to Zambia, the sun is like right in the way. This ain't the best. All right, and so coming to Zambia, where it's a huge population, like no matter if you're here in Lusaka, you can go to Dola, Solwezi, Kitwe, you have people everywhere, and they have a very young population here that every couple of weeks someone is graduating and going into the next level of adulthood. So it's a real good area out here. Yeah, population matter. A lot of people don't talk about that. Some of the things that people talk about when I hear them talking about businesses, it's like you have to take account of the population. Like, where are you going to get new customers? I see a lot of people that talk business, but I don't think they have any business training or real skills, because you have to think of customer retention and the ability to gain new customers. And people are not talking about those things. And here it exists. Like, the other thing here is social media marketing is at its infancy here. But the problem is most people are using Facebook Marketplace or Facebook advertisements. And with Facebook, you have to pay in dollars. It don't matter what country you live in, you're paying in dollars for that ad revenue, ad space. And it's at a disadvantage here. So people are not using just natural, generic attraction marketing. And this is one of the things I'm still working on here, is getting people to understand, like, you need people videotaping your place. I don't care how much money you have coming in. I don't care how big your company is. No one knows who you are on a grand scale. You're missing customers every single day. Like here, one of the big wholesalers here, Jumbo. Like, I use them. Like, I think I spent 500 kwacha, and there's enough toilet paper to last me almost 6 months. 3 months in now, I'm almost done with one pack of toilet paper. Like, do you know how much money that saves me compared to going to the shop right and paying 200 kwacha maybe to last a month or two? And I paid 500 and I'm already well over 3 months. Like, you know, when I was videotaping in there, they was like, oh, you can't video. I'm like, guys, why not? Like, I'm trying to show people that's here. A lot of the Americans here don't know where these places are, and they're not shopping at these places. So that's money being missed. So I even, I think next month or June, I'm going to do go back to Jumbo to stock up on some more things, cleaning supplies. And a lot of the diasporans that are here, I'm going to, reach out to them and ask them if they all want to meet there so I can show them where it is, how to get there. And then if they want to start doing shopping there, because we can even start doing our own version of village banking, where maybe we're all putting in $20 a month. And then just for cleaning supplies, just general toiletry, stuff like that, every 3-6 months, that $20 a month everybody putting in, we all just go in, buy a bunch of stuff and just divvy it up. Like, just ways to save money. Like, you'd be surprised how inexpensive it can be living here if you know how to move around correctly. And that's another thing here. Like, social media marketing doesn't exist. There's still this phobia of being filmed. And this is something that a lot of people within countries, especially business owners, have to get used to. You're not the main character. Like, even with me, like, I'm not the main character. When I'm filming Lusaka and all that, the main character is? It's the city. You'll be shocked how many people just seeing green grass and green trees. That's what they're really focused on. They're not focused on what I'm wearing. They're not focused on who's with me. They're just focused on, how does this place live? How does this place look? Because when you see how the place look, then you start thinking like, man, could I see myself walking down here? Man, could I see myself shopping here? Could I see myself having a meal here? Like, that's the psychology of social media marketing. And it's sad because a lot of businesses are hurting here. Because even a lot of Zambians don't know everything here. You'll be shocked. People are used to what they're used to. And so that's one of the things I'm really working on, is to get people comfortable with their businesses being filmed. Like, you don't have to be in the camera, but just show people what you have. Like, show them the prices, let people see what's here. Because one of the things I've been looking into is very specific content creators on YouTube, letting them know, like, bro, like, come out here, check this out. Hey, check out this place. Like, come around. Like, if you need a place, hey, I got a place where you can stay. Like, don't worry about being overcharged on hotels here and stuff like that, because it's going to help the country. It's going to help the continent as a whole when people start seeing like, yo, this is here. Because before I leave, I don't want to say this, like, there are a lot of very successful people that are living overseas. And some of these people are living in countries that are borderline dangerous. And if they brought those resources here to Africa, to different countries, and actually was able to legally set up businesses, be secure by the law, be able to stay in these countries no problem, instead of what they see on the internet, like, you need to spend $100 a night. You don't. This house right here that I'm living in, I pay about I average about $181 a month for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath house. Yes, I don't have electricity, right? But if I wanted to, and if I was willing to, I can invest $2,000, have a full solar off-grid system here, and I would have electricity all freaking day and all night. Only reason I don't do it, and I would explain to you not to do the same thing. Do not improve someone else's house. It is cheaper here to build your own house and build your own land over time. When you get your own stuff, then you put those things in place. Don't cause problems that are not needed. Let me just say that. And that's it. And you know how many of those people could come here and actually open up businesses that would help Africans? Like, biggest problem I see with most countries in Africa is there's too many men that are not employed. you're never going to have a booming infrastructure. You're not going to have that Wakanda when a bunch of men are sitting around. You're just not. You're never going to have it. Men need to be employed. Men need to be working. Men need to feel like they're providers. And that's the biggest problem. And the problem why that is the case is entrepreneurship isn't taught here. Here is just like the Black Caribbeans, Black Americans, Black UK, everywhere else. Go to school, get a good education, and get a good job. But then when you finish your education, spending all of that money for the schooling, what they don't tell you is you're competing with people who've been in that job for 10 or 15 years. For entry level, you need about 5 years experience. They need entrepreneurs here. So they need people who worked hard, that's built a retirement, that's collected a pension or have a nest egg set aside, that's not worried about day-to-day living. And they need those people to start investing in businesses, start building businesses, start hiring locals. It's like for me, being under a retirement permit, I'm able to open up businesses left and right. However, I am not legally allowed to work those businesses. Perfect. I don't want to work. I'm about collecting residual income, creating multiple streams of income. And that's what African countries need. They don't need too many people coming here and competing in the job pool with the locals. It's hard enough for the locals. They need the people that are actually coming here that have the disposable income or discretionary income to build businesses. It can be microloan company. It can be a landscaping company. It can be getting into real estate development. It can be starting up supermarkets, grocery stores, anything. But that's how the focus needs to be if you're coming here. And that's another one of the things people ain't telling. Like, quit talking about how to live off $10 a day. You don't need to be coming here if you have to be dependent on $10 a day. You need to be coming here as someone who can thrive, someone who's not stressed out from day-to-day living. You need to be focused on future planning. And enough people are not talking about that while they're telling people to come to the continent. This isn't even the place to really come to retire. You need to be coming here thinking about business. How can I create businesses, generational wealth, things of that nature? And there's so many things I even left out of this live that I'll talk about another time. And I'm not trying to say that to discourage people, but I'm just being honest with you. Yeah, entrepreneurship is the salvation. Like, if you go to some of the best countries, the best things that are there is that most people are entrepreneurs. Most people have streams of income. And that's what African countries need. They need entrepreneurs. Come here with ideas. Come here to build, to grow something. Because the people here are going to help you. Like, you're not going to be able to do it on your own. And more people that see you're coming here with genuine intention, you're going to find more genuine people. Like, for me, the reason why, like, even like with the shops on the land that I have, could I keep all the money, create my own shop, do this, do that? Yes, I could. But why? When I can have it built, have rental income coming in, and I'm just creating the standard. The shelving's on already been. It's a business in a box already put together for you. You just need to come with the merchandise. And then it's going to be standards. It's going to be community standards, community guidelines. You can't have a shop with people just sitting outside drinking. That is a pollution. That is a social pollution. Not in the neighborhood that I'm building. Like, you can't just have your shop dusty and dirty. There's going to be digital signs there. You need to have digital signs. Things need to be future forward. And that's why I'm doing it that way. Because you have to create the new standard. Like, the one thing that really taught me by going some of the villages out here, villages are beautiful, by the way. The villages are not like some desolate place, like horrible place. I don't think it's a place for you coming here as someone from the West to start out in. But I think it's a place you should look into in the future. And what I mean by that is the image of villages look the way they look because this is what people consider a village. But you can change the image of a village. Like, if you take Johannesburg, South Africa, you look at the old pictures, it was run down, dusty. It looked like in California back during the gold mine rush. The pictures look just like it. But if you look at Johannesburg today, and it's like, yo, this is a beautiful city. Someone started future planning. They said, look, this don't have to just be a gold mining town. This don't have to just look like this. And if you bring those ideas here to different African countries, wherever you decide to settle, you'll start seeing like there's just as much money in villages as it is in the big city, to be honest with you. What I saw in Chasefu, they need restaurants. They can do more accommodations. They need definitely the tiny homes because there's a lot of people there. There's a lot of people there. Road improvement company. Like I saw how bad the roads were, but I saw grown men just sitting there and they're not doing anything. They're playing pool or drinking or just laughing and talking, which is cool. But it's like, why can't I just employ you bringing up a road repair company? I'm paying you maybe 200 kwacha a week or 300 kwacha a week. You're just breaking down rocks and just making them into gravel to just fill in the potholes when traffic is low. You know how much that would help people? What is that? Okay, some kind of bug. But like, do you know how much that would help people? That would help the roads for being improved, but also would help the logistics of bringing goods back and forth. The better the roads are, the easier it is to get goods back and forth, and that'll bring down your transportation costs. I don't think a lot of people think of that. Like, the more wear and tear on your vehicles, the longer it takes for you to get through this short stretch of road. That takes more petrol, fuel, and it takes more maintenance on the vehicles, which brings up the cost of goods. The more smooth sailing it is, the faster you can get there and get back, it brings down the cost of goods. Supply and demand. Very simple things, but because it's not looked at from a different perspective, it's like, oh, well, this is the village. This is just the way it is out here. It don't have to be that way. And that's the new ideas and thoughts that needs to be coming into Africa. Like, us as Westerners, the diasporans, however you align yourself, we need to be coming thinking like, how can I improve? How can I improve upon? And by improving upon, that's going to be where you find that nest egg of money. Like, if you're improving the average Zambian's life and you're not worried about trying to earn dollars, you're going to make a lot of money. You're going to make more than dollars. Like what I told my brother, because he was like, oh, well, you know, what does it mean if I'm earning 1 million kwacha there? I'm like, it's more than you're earning in dollars in your home country. So many of us have been caught up in this scam, this currency scam of dollars is king, dollars is king. Dollars isn't king. You can come with thousands of dollars here, but if you're earning millions of kwacha here every month or every year, you're living a better life than someone earning thousands of dollars in the United States. A millionaire is a millionaire no matter where you go. A millionaire doesn't just mean in dollars. A millionaire in kwacha here in Zambia is one of the 1%. 1%. You're part of the elite. You're making the money to be in the elite. People have to start seeing that. So don't be afraid to earn kwacha. Your money don't have to come into the form of dollars. You can always, transfer kwacha into dollars. Just go to the bank. You use your NRC, by the way, because you need a national registration card for that. But like, you're able to do that. And I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions a lot of repatriates and expats make. They're so busy trying to earn in their home currency, and they're not understanding earning your currency that you're living in. You're going to be making a great amount of money. Like I said, with having 100 homes, bringing 100 tiny homes, each earning 1,000, bringing in 1,000 kwacha a month in rental. That is 1.2 million kwacha a year. And then can scale that to however much I want to go from after that. But that's still a millionaire in Zambia. Zambian millionaires are living a great life. Zambian millionaires are not hurting. And I guarantee you, just because you exchange it to what it is in dollars, that Zambian millionaire in Zambia is living a way better life than the person who's making the equivalent in the United States or in the UK. So just food for thought. Think about that. And it's 2 hours now. Mosquitoes starting to come out. I'm about to head in the house. Hopefully electricity come back soon. It's 5:35, but hopefully electricity come back soon. So let me see. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 sec. Okay. But that's just some food for thought. If you have any questions or comments, just hit me up on the channel. Anytime Purelistic. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Let me know when you get here also. That way I can have someone meet you at the airport. So you have somebody come there that I can even come there if I'm not out of the country. So that way you have a familiar face. Sometimes coming to a foreign country, especially for the first time, having just a familiar face helps out a lot. It just brings that stress and burden down. I appreciate it, Pan Americanism. Come back in time. I'm always doing videos. My big thing is my channel focus is happiness, health, and wealth. And part of the wealth part is helping people not getting ripped off. Like, I don't want you getting ripped off here, because the moment you get ripped off, it sullies your whole image of the country, of other people. Zambians are good people. Zambia is a great country. And you do have those few that are going to try to rip you out. They're going to use ignorance to use you. Yes, I do. It's Jason Chaney. All across social media, I am marketed and branded as Jason Chaney. Everything is my name. All of them should have the same picture. You're going to see this ugly face. All of my social medias are the same. I don't use Instagram a lot more, but I'm about to start using it. I'm about to start using Instagram more. I need to get on top of it. I don't have my social media manager anymore, and I haven't found one here in Zambia yet. Because like when I was doing videos in Colombia, I had a social media manager doing everything. So it helped out a lot to where I was just focused on content creation. But right now I'm doing everything myself. So I do apologize. I'm going to get on top of all the channels. I'm going to get myself back on a calendar and a schedule. What I've been focused right now is just doing main content on YouTube. And then what I'm going to do in a couple of months, I'm going to start using some of the social media editors and start clipping and putting things all over different parts of the internet. So that way it's some congruency all across the board. But I will be getting on that. But everything is Jason Chaney. That is my brand. I branded my name because for me, my integrity is tied to my name. I strongly believe if you lose your name as a man, you have nothing left in this world. And that's why I branded myself this way, because no one can talk bad about me, even if they try. I have thousands of people that be like, no, that ain't Jason. I don't charge for consultation fees. I do not ask people to send me money. Even with my charity projects, I have a couple of people I need to hit up and tell them stop sending me PayPals, because I do have my own charity works that I do here. I don't advertise them too much, but few people, they insisted on donating, and so I had told them, okay, you can donate here. But now they keep sending. I'm like, hey, hold up, pump the brakes, like. And it's just because, like, I really understand how hard it is for people to earn a living. I went to war to earn my pension. Like, a lot of times people are like, oh, you got a military pension, it's easy in America. I went to war. I did some crazy things. I've done things that people should never have to do in their life to earn a check. I'm just going to be honest with you. And I went through that as a child. The things and the control, the power that I had as a child in war, looking at it now as an older, it's crazy. I would never wish that on anyone, and it should never be put on anyone else again. But I'm thankful and I'm grateful to go through that and be on the other side to the person I am now. It took me a lot of years of therapy, took me a lot of years of counseling. It took a lot of years of working with my late wife. She helped me be the person I am today, to where I have a sound mind. because I was crazy back then. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was crazy. I was crazy. I was going down a path that I was scared of. And she truly helped me a lot. And I'm forever grateful for her. And I will always love her for that. People just don't know how great a woman she was to me and how she helped me and impacted my life. And that's who I am today. And that's why I'm the way I am today. Like, I'm very set on my morals. I don't mean I'm not walking around like I'm, Brother Teresa or something like that. Like, hey, I have my faults. I have things I like to do that may not be the mainstream thing, but it is what it is. We all have our faults and we have all our things that we are into. And so just remember, if you ever see any type of picture, any type of video, because with all this AI crap now going around, or you ever get a message saying, hey, this Jason, send me money, it's not me. It is not me. I will never openly ask for money. I will never beg for money. I believe in budgeting. I believe in doing the hard things, and I believe in financial literacy. Uh, I'll talk about the Zambian stock purchases. I haven't finished my application yet with the stock market. The police station I have to go to is a little ways away, and I just haven't had time to go there. I will speak about that because I am getting into the Lusaka Stock Exchange. I am getting into purchasing government bonds, government treasuries. I'm investing in Zambia from top to bottom. I'm going all in with Zambia. This is a great country and it has so much potential. It's a true second world country and first world country. Um, I don't consider Zambia third world at all. Zambia needs entrepreneurs. It needs investors. It needs people coming here with long-term investment goals. And once enough of those people come here, you're going to see Zambia boost. It's going to go back to its glory days that it was before a lot of their auto industry was taken away from them. A lot of people don't know that. Subaru, Land Rover, those companies, I'm sorry, they were being developed here. Their assembly plants was like here in Ndola, the Copperbelt region. Zambia was doing great at one point, and something happened. I don't know exactly what it was, but it collapsed the economy. And whatever was to play with that, it doesn't matter. It's time for rebuilding. It's time for future planning. Everyone keeps talking about, oh, let's build it Wakanda, Wakanda, Wakanda. If you don't bring money and build businesses and ideas, you're not going to have no Wakanda here. You're going to have a new Mandarin Chinese speaking countries here. The Chinese are heavily involved here in other countries. Indians are here heavily involved. But the beautiful thing about it is they're in their own lanes. There's so much other opportunities here. Like I still think right now with the trade wars, and I'm going to end it on this, Zambia and some of these other southern region countries, you can open up warehouses at a small level with 4 or 5 machines because most of the textiles like Italian leather and stuff like that are produced in Africa. The dashiki prints are here in Zambia. They have the dashiki prints. I've seen them. Their materials, what they use are called chitangi. But if you look at them, you'd be like, wait, that's a dashiki print. And because a lot of people here have a lot of skill in tailoring, you can hire tailors here, maybe paying them about 200 US bucks a month, producing these outfits and garments and selling them to the US. If I was the United States, I would be thrilled with this trade war with China. And if I was in Africa, I would be thrilled because I would be now producing these little mini warehouses and shipping these goods to the US. The US should be making new trade deals with African countries and opening up revenue here, creating also call centers here. Like everything is here in Africa, man. If I could I would be on here for probably a week straight, non-stop talking. If I could really explain to you the things that I see on the ground here on a daily basis, like you will be shocked. You can get industrial sewing machines here for about 400 US dollars. I have one in my house right now. I purchased it for my girlfriend, because she's a tailor and she does fashion design. I'm thinking about purchasing 4 or 5 more over the next year. just to start building a literal mini warehouse and start getting some of the making my own dashikis here to send to the United States, but also start getting some of that Italian leather, bringing out probably my own branded purses, all of these different things. I'm still working on seeing how to do the shoes, but all this stuff is here. Everything is here on this continent. Um, don't let the media fool you like Africa's struggling. Africa just need investors and they need entrepreneurs, people coming with the ideas and that's willing to actually do them. That is why I'm not a pro passport bro channel, because you can come here for that, but I'm telling you, it's a waste. The amount of money these guys are coming to some of these countries and wasting on women. You can be building a multi-million-dollar business here and still have as many women as you want. Like, focus on the money. Yeah, that's it. A mini warehouse for startup. Like, so many people are thinking on the industrial level. They're forgetting there's a mini level. That whole mid-grade level, that's where more money is at. Because guess what? If one machine breaks down, it's $400. By the time that machine breaks down, I may have made $3,000 to $4,000 off of it. I can go buy 10 more. And people are not thinking about that. But if you go get the big industrial machines that's costing you 20, 30, 40,000 US dollars, because I see the machines. Once that machine breaks down one time, like, you're screwed. Because can you get 4 or 5 of those machines at one time? Like, let's be real here. And if you do get one of those machines, you're worried about how they're shipping it. You got to make sure someone actually knows how to run the machine properly. But these mini machines, regular industrial machines at the mid-grade level, people know how to use those. There's a guy here at one of the big trade schools. He came and put the machine together for me. I think he charged me like $60. Wow, that wasn't a lot. He knows how to work the machines. He knows how to do any maintenance on the machines. And so literally, once I have my mini warehouse set up, he's going to be my mechanic. He's going to be making money off of that. Like, hey, make sure every month my machines are tuned up. Make sure the oil is good. What oil do you recommend? Like, keep your knowledge up. Hey, matter of fact, too, let's start a machine. Let's partner and let's start a machine maintenance company for these mini warehouses. And I want you to teach 3, 4 of the guys how to do this. So now those guys are working for while I'm building other mini warehouses. Like, I may have this one for purses, this one for dashikis, this one that's doing Gucci bags or something. Like, you can get them. You can get the fabrics here. Like Louis Vuitton, Gucci fabrics, you can buy those here. You can buy all of these fabrics here. Even when I go to Tanzania, I go buy fabrics there. And now that I saw how they actually do the bags in Tanzania, I plan on doing the stuff here. I saw their whole setup because I went to where they made them. And it's not going to take business from them. It's just building business here. I can send them to the United States or send them to other countries throughout the southern region of Africa. And it's just making money. Like, there's a lot of money to be made out here. And next live, let me see, today's Monday. I'll probably do a live Wednesday. I don't think I have much going on this week. So Wednesday, I'll probably do another live. And I will talk about the stock exchange, what you need to do, how to do it, to get started up on that. And just let me know in the comments on one of my posts, any other things you want me to talk about in that live. Or what I'll do, I'll put a poll up. After this video loads up, I'll put a poll. And you just let me know what other things you want me to talk about. And I'll get as much information as possible, especially something I don't have know everything about. And we will talk about those. But just remember this. I'm Jason, and success is simple once you know how.